everybody. How you doing out there? Please don't forget to click like and subscribe, and please give us comments below. But welcome to We Brooklyn. All right, we're a little ratchet, but we're elevated and we're experienced and we're educated. So welcome to the show. All right, Brooklynites, what's really good with you? How you doing?
Everything's good. Everything's good. Just ready to talk.
Happy August, everybody.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is Obama's birthday.
Who else?
It should be, I don't know, but that should be a holiday. That should be like the next holiday we have.
What, Obama?
Yeah. Obama for your mama. So what you guys been up to? How's your August so far?
I'm just trying to enjoy my summer. Been a little bit chilly the last couple of days.
It's been a cold summer. I just keep hearing Fabulous's album in my head. Cold summer.
I'm loving it.
I know you loving it.
You loving it because it's not that hot.
Yes.
You was complaining before it was even really hot though.
Yeah, I was anticipating the heat. I was definitely anticipating
it.
Well, all right, let's get on into these topics. So the first one that we would love to talk about is R. Kelly, people. R. Kelly is back in the news, of course, because his federal case is now back in court. And, you know, he's having to go before some judges and, you know, talk about some stuff. So what I'm about to do is just share a little blurb with you all from Fox Soul, courtesy of Queens with Cocktails. Claudia just gave us a little quick rundown, and you know, let's just go with her rundown. I'm sharing my sound right now, and let's take it back.
Well, someone that's not going to be enjoying life is that damn R. Kelly. TMZ reported that he doesn't want the feds to include any evidence about him allegedly having sex with a man because he thinks the jury isn't ready for that wrench. He fears the jury may take it out on him in a verdict because he assumes they're homophobic. You know, this comes just after weeks after prosecutors filed a new request to use allegations of uncharged crimes, one being that the singer groomed and molested allegedly a 17-year-old boy. What are your thoughts on the updates?
We can't hear you.
I'm sorry. I was saying, so yeah, that's pretty much it. So like, what are your thoughts on R. Kelly with this newfound information leading, you know, being added to his investigation? Not only is it for women now, but now it opens up allegedly to some young males who have also had sexual encounters on a long period basis over time with him.
I heard about this before. I heard about him and other dudes before. And didn't they say one of his victims or alleged victims, or however you want to phrase it, she was basically groomed to be like a dude, and she was, you know, taught to dress like a boy and act like a boy.
Yes, I forgot her name. But yeah, she was known as the boy toy. That's how she was explained.
Right. So this ain't nothing new as far as him dealing with men. I heard about this, and you know.
But in that case, she was at least a young lady. She was a young lady, and you know, he pretty much put her in transition to be, you know, and appear as a young male,
right,
against her will. Where this is actually a young male, full out, you know that.
Yeah, but I mean, if you got your girl putting a strap on, and then come to find out that you like to take a little man meat on the side, that ain't no surprise.
That's allegedly, because we don't know if she was strapping up with him. That's allegedly.
No, I'm just saying in general. If Tommy from the block was, you know what I'm saying?
That's the case, and we ain't even got no lawyer yet. As I'm, you know.
Nah, I'm not talking about R. Kelly. I'm saying in general.
Oh, you just saying in general.
Yeah.
I mean, but there are some men that like manly looking women. Don't get me wrong. I don't know how many women I know that got a full-fledged mustache or at least got a light goatee that mimics yourself, and they got full-fledged men. So is that to say that they really want to be with
I'm just saying I'm not surprised.
feminized men? I'm okay.
Like, for instance, last week, if we're gonna keep it real, last week we was talking about you getting niggas pregnant. Now,
I stand behind that 100%.
right, you stand behind that, right? So the fact that you want to get a nigga pregnant, if I find out that you got a whole girlfriend, I wouldn't be surprised because you ready to get a nigga pregnant. So I'm just saying, when you start swaying, I'm not surprised when it comes out that you know what I'm saying? Your pendulum for the swing is pretty wide over there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not surprised about that. And I mean, R. Kelly is, oh man, I feel so conflicted because
Caramel, I think low level, he just tried me just now with the pendulum.
Not you, why are you taking this so personal? Not you per se. I'm saying when your pendulum swings in a direction that kind of blends, sexuality, whether it's with a man or a woman, then it's not surprising. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of girls will tell you, if you with a dude and he taking he supposed to be getting, I don't want to go too graphic, but
yeah, don't go too graphic.
Right.
Algorithm.
If she down there handling business and she get a little low and she go a little lower and homie got the legs kicked up, she's a little alarmed. You know what I'm saying? So
she's a little, I'm sorry, she's a little what?
A little alarmed. A little alarmed. So, I mean, but as far as him being a predator, I mean, because that's your business. Whatever you want to do, that's your business if you're dealing with grown adults. But as far as this is concerned with R. Kelly and this young boy, it don't go far from his alleged MO, which is grooming, which is slowly, seducing, and ultimately getting the people to do what they want, which is what basically all child molesters do. He's an alleged child molester, but this is what most of them do. They groom. They slowly bring you in when you at a level of adolescence or under that, and they play on your curiosity or whatever it is they play on, or their authority or whatever it is. So I'm not surprised, and I'm not surprised that he don't want this talked about in court, because the wilder the person seems sexually, the more it seems like they're capable of doing anything, whether deviant or straight up, just consensual. So that's where I'm at with it. What do you feel, Caramel?
Yeah, I'm not surprised either. I'm just saddened that it took this long for him to even really have any real charges up against him. Had R. Kelly not become broke, I don't know if he would be in this predicament. You know what I mean? If he didn't have the pull, if he was R. Kelly from the 90s and the 2000s with that money and those songs and all the different things, I don't know if he would even be facing, half of this stuff, because it's clear that people knew what he was doing. It's clear that it was a known fact. I know people who used to say he used to be in front of their schools. You know what I'm saying? Like at junior high school, like waiting, in Chicago, like that was a MO, like something he did, so you can't tell me that this wasn't known, but it was covered. And it's just sad that I just think we're just going to keep on hearing about people, and I don't know what his psychological, like what's up with his mind. I don't know, but his talent for music, is he has a talent for music, but clearly he got gifted in music and got ungifted in everything else. Because I don't, it's crazy.
It is crazy, and I'll be wanting to know, like, when does the victimization of him go out the window when you evaluate in the whole situation. If he was clear, if he was a victim, which there's people who state that he was, when do you take that into account for who he's become allegedly?
Well,
I just want to say for the record, I'm sorry to cut you all off. The young lady we was talking about, her name is Dominique Gardner.
Dominique, I thought it was Dominique.
Yes, Dominique Gardner. And I don't know. It's like, how do you separate Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde?
Yeah.
That's the same way you have police officers or just other men and even women, who present one way in the workplace or, out in the world. And at home, they are like beating the living spit out of their children, their spouse, their siblings, their parents.
Yeah.
And then just come back out in society like, what's up? How do you separate the man from the beast? How do you separate the beast from the man? I honestly, it's hard for me to listen to his music and not think. See, because I grew up with Aaliyah. So I remember that vividly because we were all the same age at that time when that happened. And that thing just went like, it was like, oh my God, he married Aaliyah. Shh, And then before you knew it, 2 years passed and she over here like, baby, boy, with the whole Missy and Timberland crew. So it was like, all right, something happened there that we knew happened there. And, she never said his name again. Nobody ever said her name to him. Nobody ever said his name to her again on live television, anything. They completely were like in two different worlds. So I knew something happened then. But it was like after that, okay, maybe that was a fluke because, people work together. We're all artists, even as young teenagers when we were, doing plays and musicals and stuff. You might be feeling somebody you got the lead for at the time, but as soon as it's over, you shake it off. So I guess in the entertainment world, it's understandable. And it was always acceptable for way older men to be with way younger females. I mean, look at Elvis Presley and, his wife. He married her when she was like 15, 16. And
that's where I'm conflicted. Like,
and we ain't gonna get into Woody Allen marrying his own stepdaughter, who he was the stepfather for in the same house. Now that is just disgusting. I don't even know how that happened.
That's devious.
That's just on a whole nother level of how did you even get here with this? You know what I'm saying? When we're all in the same house. I can't even imagine. What his wife was going through at that time. My stepdaughter and my husband are about to get married. What? And I adopted you. I picked you, that's deep, but so because of that, and when I hear his music and I think of Aaliyah and all of that stuff, it's hard for me to listen to his music. I'm not even gonna lie. Don't get me wrong. I miss Stepping in the Name of Love. I even miss Your Booty, Your Booty. I mean, he has some, banger and hood hits, but I can't listen to him respectfully knowing that he abused women like me. And not even that they're like me, but they're women like me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me as a woman to get past it. But I still wish I could step in the name of love, but I can't. I can't do it.
But this is where I'm at a crossroads, right? Because I always feel like who the powers that be control how we feel and how we react. And you mentioned the Woody Allen, you mentioned the Elvis Presley, you Picasso. I mean, what's his name? I don't know, not Picasso. I forgot. Some painter. All these people. He's not. R. Kelly is definitely not the first one. So how come he's the most villainized? He should be. Don't get me wrong. He should be. But I'm just like, they real selective as to who they decide to turn the energy towards and say, this person is the poster child for the type of people you should hate. When Elvis Presley gets a free pass. It's just...
I don't think it's that. I just think that
I think Elvis's time was a different time too.
Yeah,
Elvis's
that's
time
what I was getting ready to say.
In terms of, I mean, yes, she was young, but people were getting married at those ages. You know what I mean? It's like the 60s, the 50s.
I don't think 15 though, right? Like niggas, but
Yeah, in some places.
Yeah, in some places they was marrying girls as young as 11 and 13. Yes,
it still was against the law though. Like, so how?
In some states,
but not if your parents agreed and signed off on it. No, it was not. If your parents agreed to it.
Yeah, I think Elvis's wife, the parents agreed, didn't they?
And supposedly so did Aaliyah's parents.
Yes, they did. No, but Aaliyah's parents did not agree to that. What they agreed to was having the uncle, who was also working closely with R. Kelly at the time, and that's how they became, working. They agreed to have them have parental permission over Aaliyah while she was filming. I mean, while she was working with R. Kelly doing her album, because they lived in Chicago at the time. Aaliyah did, R. Kelly was already in California, and the parents could not afford to continue to go back and forth. Now, after that happened, the parents never let her leave their site, respectively. It's unfortunate that had to happen in order for them to, have more protection over her. And then, just God rest her soul, because, not even like a whole 10 years later, she left us after that.
I mean, it sound good, and I could go with that if any of us escaped, if any of the soul Black artists ever escaped with their reputation, then I could probably see, oh, maybe it's unbiased. But when I look at Michael Jackson, went down as a molester.
No, they tried to make him go down as a molester, but they still.
I mean, they still got the docs. I mean, it's not like just because he was found not guilty. Same way Bill Cosby found not guilty, but
he wasn't really found of anything. He wasn't even found not guilty of anything. They were just trying to bring a whole lot of speculation towards him, but they still didn't have a case. That's why everything against Michael Jackson still kept getting thrown out of court.
Yeah, okay? But it don't stop the public view of
right. So it's the public view that you have to worry about weighing in on. But with R. Kelly, it's a whole
R. Kelly was found not guilty too, right? Like he was
found not guilty of the
guilty.
No, but he was found not guilty of that case because the parent, the girl that he
does it matter? Does that matter?
It does matter. Yes, it does, because it wasn't the girl herself. It wasn't the victim herself, the one who was violated and urinated on, that changed her story. He made her uncle and her mother and the aunt and them, he bought them to change their story. That's just like somebody raping your child and then they buying the parents quiet. What happens to the child as the victim? Are they still not victimized? You victimize them even more, because I come to you in a plea for help of something that happened, and instead of you defending me, you not only make it okay for the person to violate me, you take money as a reward for the violation. I know that little girl. I know whoever that girl is. She's messed up. That's the one who was Sparkle's cousin.
That's the one who's
Sparkle's cousin,
and actually is doing things with other people for him. Like she's now what R. Kelly was.
Right.
She's turned into a predator.
Right. But he's the one who not only victimized her, he's the one who turned her into a predator. And so she's the one who eventually became the one who was a scout. She's the one who became the scout for the other young girl.
Now she's R. Kelly.
Well, she's not she don't got R. Kelly money, but she has access to him. And the same
I'm talking about as far as her participation in victimizing other people.
Listen, everybody in his camp participated in it. At least she was a victim first, okay? Let's talk about his brother. Let's talk about his road manager. Let's talk about his case manager. Let's talk about the other people on the road that know he was pissing people and they still let it go. Let's talk about the people.
Question: is piss illegal?
I mean, if people are into golden showers, that's fine, but it still has to be a mutual thing, right? It has to be, do I have permission to do this sexual act with you? Yes, I'm giving you permission to urinate on me. if you just
I don't think that's how most.
No. Yes,
sexual
that's.
acts.
Let me tell you, I'm a sexual educator. That I am first.
No,
and that is how that goes.
That could be the protocol, but I don't. When somebody is having sex and they ain't asking you, could they put their finger in your ass?
Have you ever seen a video? The way that he was urinating on the girl, he was standing over her and he was making it like she was a urinal. It wasn't like, oh, this is doing, like, oh, I'm doing this, sexually, and then I'm going to, and then he was straight pissing on the girl.
Listen, but let me ask you, we're in semantics, don't you think, guys? I thought what S was going down to was whether or not you're talking about the different people who have been known to victimize and seem to have gotten away with it. When you said Bill Cosby.
I didn't say Bill Cosby.
I said
no, S said Bill Cosby. Oh, okay. I was like, Bill Cosby wasn't found not guilty. His case was thrown out of technicality.
You can't. You can't see, but this is where it gets crazy.
No, wait.
It's not like he was. Whether he's not guilty.
No, I know what you're talking about. It wasn't that he was found not guilty. He was found guilty, but then once his lawyers went back, once they used the confession that they used, that he talked about what he did and admitted to all these things, but didn't do it under the proper way, then now it was able to be thrown out. It's not saying it's a law, so he's supposed to get it thrown out. If you didn't do it the proper way, it's supposed to be thrown out. But it's not because they found that this situation was a lie or because the jury found him not guilty. That's not why. It's because the legal team, the prosecutors, did not do what they were supposed to do.
I don't know what world. All right.
The shameful Woody Allen should have had the book thrown at him. He should have been put in jail. The problem was with his situation, I think, is the fact that the wife, the stepdaughter who became the wife, was over the age of 18 or 21, not in the mother's house anymore once they found out. And she basically was trying to tell people that he never touched her prior to her becoming an adult and being out of the house.
But there's a whole other daughter that was molested.
Oh, well, that one, yeah, that case, I don't know, that case never, the case was, the younger daughter that said he did, and then they went to court over that, I think,
too. Got a whole documentary out about it.
Yeah, I think they went to court over that too.
Details, how he groomed her. My thing is, you talking about semantics, that's semantics. Semantics is,
no, I'm not,
whether you found guilty or not.
Also is, those things are semantics, because what a child says around someone doing something like that, especially if they have a history of getting with what we consider morally wrong, getting with his daughter who was adopted or whatever, and the idea that he wouldn't have touched her prior to this, that would groom her in order to even be with him as an older person, a college student, doesn't even sound right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, but what I don't want to do is, like, I'm not saying anyone, no one should get away with doing this stuff to people. No one should get away with victimizing people in this way and doing these kind of things to people. Male, female, white, black, yellow, whatever. That I cannot agree with, in the sense of, is it okay for someone else? It's not okay for anyone to get away with this. It's not.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, at the end of the day, the reason why you got your eye on R. Kelly is because they put in the focus on him. Like, they could put the focus on Woody Allen. They could put the focus on anybody else who's involved with this. Africa Bambaataa. They could do that when they want to, but all of a sudden they focus on one person and make that the person, and it's kind of hypocritical, because at the end of the day, if you're gonna go hard about R. Kelly and what he did, then go hard about Elvis Presley. Don't make excuses. Well, it was different back then, because at the end of the day, if it's legally wrong, it's legally wrong. It's no, because you don't know if Elvis Presley estate got the family to agree that this was okay. We don't know what.
Oh, I mean, that's what I read.
R. Kelly saying, well, he paid off the parents. We don't know this. We just know that it's not morally right and it's not legally right to seduce a child as a grown ass person, whether man, woman, or whatever, black, white, whatever, gay, straight, whatever. It's not legally or morally right to do that under a particular age. So how come the outrage is selected? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm asking.
I completely agree with you. I don't think that it should be one thing where one person is seen or under the microscope and everybody else isn't. I think the only thing I could speak to or try to speak to is why R. Kelly now. And that's because he is at the top of what seems to be cancel culture, right when it was in the turn in the conundrum of it. You have the Harvey Weinsteins and you have like all of these other celebrities or big time producers that are now being ousted, for different sexual, encounters. Look, we had a whole administrative online thing today with New York One and all the allegations against Governor Cuomo. Okay, and how he's now being, and they have like 11 women and witnesses that have witnessed it. So I'm pretty sure if Elvis was still alive and if Woody Allen wasn't laying low and most of the people that, that he raped and molested, were not over the age of 18 or 21, they would still be catching the wrath of this time. I think it's just a matter of Elvis really lucked out because of the time that he was in. I mean, he was a thief on all levels. He stole music from Black people and recreated it for his own. And then, I mean, he was out here stealing little girls and marrying them. All right. Now, is Priscilla Presley going to say anything about that now? Hell no. She done had 2 kids for him. All right. And she owns the whole damn estate. She is the Elvis Presley estate. So I'm pretty sure her parents were forward thinking in that way. And unfortunately, a lot of people are affianced when they're younger, especially during that time, they're betrothed, to other people. Families make those agreements within other families. I mean, they do it even within black Southern families with Jack and Jill and all those other, debutante balls and, all those little, things that they do down South. It's, to show that you are available. This is what I'm offering. This is what my daughter is going to be. You just pretty much selling hopes and dreams. Okay. But at the end of the day, it still is an agreement. And, if those other people agree to it, some people feel family, tradition is important and they give into it. Other people go completely against it. I think all right. So while you were talking, Sophie, one thing I thought about is on the legal aspect, we also have to be careful that you have to be able to prove a burden. You have to have a burden of proof, right? Especially when you come with like sexual allegations. It's even harder as a rape victim or a victim that has been somebody who has been victimized, sexually. It is very hard for them to prove their case. It is one of the hardest cases to prove, right? Because if you robbed me, you took something, I might have defended myself. We got gashes, hospital reports, everything like that. Not always in the case of emotional and physical sexual abuse is there something that you can prove. I think the reason the microscope is also under R. Kelly is because he's proven that he has a pattern, right? A serial pattern. At least with Woody Allen, as far as we know, it's only the 2. It's Sun Yi and what happened to the younger daughter. It could be tons of young women out there, but unless they come forward, that's what will push him, I think, to the scope. You see what I'm saying? I think if those kind of allegations came forward, it will push Woody Allen's ass right to the forefront. You notice he done been real quiet. Motherfucker must be living under some kind of cave or something, because I ain't heard about him since they've been outing people in the past 5 to 6 years. He's stupid.
Movies. He's still producing movies.
I mean, on the low, but when he's an executive producer, that means he's just putting money towards it. He still ain't on set. He's not stupid enough to be on set.
That's what I'm saying. He's at the Knicks games. He's living his life.
Knicks games are different. You know what I'm saying? You can't stop people from living their life. But, should he go on a sexual predators list? Hell yes, he should, along with everybody else. You see what I'm saying? But again, it's that burden of proof. Like Caramel said earlier, Sun Yi, she wouldn't cop to anything. You have to prove it. If she's not willing to cop and they're now married, which now means they have explicit, dealings between the two of them that they don't have to share or disclose in court, and that's their legal matter. You're not going to get that information from Sunyi. If the younger sister is saying that, it still is her word against his, and unfortunately, the statutes on rape run out, I believe, from 7 to 10 years from when the incident happened. And if the person is over 18 years old, it runs out even sooner. So it's like you got to be careful. Even when you report it, if you wait too long to report it, it could be thrown out. So if the young girl was to come forward outside of the documentary right now to try to report and take Woody, it would not get any push. She's passed the laws of jurisdiction on when to, report a crime like that. Had it been a murder, that never runs out. Murders stay open forever. But rapes, unfortunately, molestations, they don't. Only if it is proven that the person has a serial pattern. That's why they're able to catch them priests the way that they do and go back like 20 years, because they'll be like, oh, okay, there's a pattern here. There's a pattern here. There's a pattern. We can identify the pattern, right? But if you got Woody Allen and Elvis Presley with just 1 and 2 hits, that ain't enough to make it rock. You got to have a Harvey Weinstein case with like 45 females behind you, okay? Or Governor Cuomo, he got 11. All right, R. Kelly allegedly has between 15 to 20. And now he's adding boys, young men to the register, allegedly, right? Now they're adding young boys to the register. So I think that is the thing that I'm not saying that is right. And I completely understand what you're saying. But I think that is the reason why he's been pushed to the forefront and why he's getting as much play as he is now. And another thing, the fact that he's preying on young, poor Black women is really fucked up too. You know what I'm saying? You're targeting young girls who already have self-esteem issues. I mean, you seen the documentary, ain't none of them lookers, okay? You targeting people who have low self-esteem issues. All right, Brooklyn, I know you agree with me, but come on. You targeting people that have self-esteem issues, that, adore you and worship you, and they have their own mental health issues, okay? Because I've seen his wife, Drea. If you ever seen her, she's a blessing. She's a talented dancer, but old girl, she need therapy too. You know what I'm saying? There is no way. I don't care how much I love you. You ain't locking me in no room. You see this big girl? Who I'm asking before I eat? Who? I wish a ninja would. I wish I would have to ask somebody before I go to the bathroom. What kind of breakdown in the mind is that? How are you targeting these women that you're able to do that? That alone is kind of like a talent. I'm not even gonna lie. How do you get them like that? How do you break them like that?
I think they already like that. That's what
exactly. But the fact that you can identify that in them, because that you have that in yourself, right? Because he was molested and everything by his babysitter and his aunt or whatever, and himself. All right, that's fine. But why project that? Why feel the need to project? That is the deeper cause that we need to get to with Mr. Kelly. Okay, Elvis unfortunately is not here to answer for his wrongdoings. But the fact that his daughter married Michael Jackson alone, he done died like 1,200 deaths, okay? As racist as he is, he done died like 1,200. So he already done got his karma, and the world kind of has had a chance to see that play out. All right, the fact that they done kissed on live television, I know he died again 10 times that whole night on American Music Awards, back in the early 90s. I know it. So, I mean, everything has its time.
Let me just say this, though, because I want this to come across like I'm some sort of defender of R. Kelly.
I don't think that.
I'm just saying that you can't name a great Black artist or great Black person who has escaped unscathed from the criticisms and the public scrutiny, whether it be under a certain layer, they haven't escaped. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Malcolm X. I don't care if it's Martin Luther King. I don't care if it's Bill Cosby. I don't care if it's Michael Jackson, the great Michael Jackson. It doesn't matter. None of us escape. They always got to have some sort of dirt on their name, whether they are adulterers, whether they're molesters, whether they're thief, whether they're women abusers, something. And that's not necessarily the case for their white counterparts. So for me, I'm conflicted because he's fucked up, he's wrong, but he's also a victim. And at some point, just like we talked about the girl who got peed on, at some point, you can't take away the identity of somebody who was a victim first, because they were. And if the system didn't help them, and if the system kind of left them behind and then they became this monster, like, who is that on? Is that just
right? But who checks the monster?
That's on all of us.
I mean, no, it's not on me, because I have nothing.
Not you, but I mean, it's on us as a society. I mean, at some point,
as a society, but where's the point though? But where's the point though when you say, as an adult, right? But I have been abused, right? Even if your truth is I'm abusing others, right? What are you doing to get the help that you need? Are you allowing yourself to get the help? Or are you using this as a godly complex that nobody can touch you? See, because the problem is not that people don't do dumb stuff. I'm pretty sure there are tons of celebrities that take advantage of their power, and they take advantage of, just their name and, their influence. I know that for a fact because I have worked, behind the scenes at theaters and seen how certain artists professionally have moved. You'd be surprised, who the sweetest artists you think you are until you personally know them. They nasty as hell, right? But at the same time, what part is, does R. Kelly or does Robert take self-accountability for self and be like, damn, I'm fucked up. I might need some therapy or something. Or is everybody else around me gonna still continue to pacify me, bring me women, bring me these young people, ignore what I'm doing, right? And not hold me accountable for my behavior. Who's to do that? Because his mama dead, right? So that's my only thing. Is like, yeah, I understand that you're a victim. Yes, I understand that you're hurt. I even understand you hurting other people because you're hurt. But at what point do you not continue to abuse it? He got away with it with Aaliyah. If he would have stopped then, he would have been good. He got away with it when he did it with the Azriel girl and the other girl because they were fighting to keep him. They wanted to stay with him. They were the last two, right? But the fact that you continued on, you kept going back to the McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? And it kept leading to the mindset that he was untouchable. And see, that is the thing that got him caught up. It's not that the help is not there, but if we all friends and I need help with something and you don't even, have the moment to reach out to tell me or acknowledge it, then what? My fans are supposed to be accountable for that. The world is supposed to be accountable when the people in my closest corner and circle are not even holding me accountable. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he probably has a sickness and a disease. What he has is, it could be that. But at what point do we hold him accountable? We hold Kanye crazy ass accountable, and he bipolar. He has a whole chemical imbalance, of just saying dumb shit in his body. But yet we still hold him accountable. Denzel Washington is an artist. He keeps his nose clean. Prince stayed under the radar until he passed away. God rest his soul. And that's still, on some hearsay, if you believe it, if you don't. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. An example of a white knight that kind of like Charlie Sheen. That man has been coked up for years. He had prostitutes dancing on the table, videos, all that kind of stuff. But you know what? Enough is enough. Even he learned when to clean up his act. His dad, being an actor, his family, being celebrities, helped him with that. Is it fair? No, but at the same time, he wasn't locking chicks in the closet, making them beg to come out to drink water and eat at the same time either. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. but he might needed to be on the sexual predator list for a couple of years while when he was really doing that coke, and smoking out his teeth and doing all that other stuff. I mean, there are other artists that they get caught doing stuff. Wendy Williams, whole cocaine. And she has allegations against her of sexually abusing, sexually harassing her DJs and stuff like that. That's under the radar. So again, it's the money, it's the privilege. If R. Kelly would have stopped a long time ago, I'm pretty sure he would not have, it would not have gone to a whole federal case. Feds don't prosecute unless they have years of evidence because they wait on it. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. But we spent a lot of time on that topic. Topic is DABABY. Well, he gave another extensive apology to the LGBTQIA population regarding his remarks at Rolling Out concert that he did last week. Some people have come up to defend DABABY, including Little Bootsy. I don't know. Little Bootsy needs to shut the fuck up. I'm not even gonna lie, but Lil Bootsy came to his defense, as well as artists like T.I. saying that he should be able to say what he feels, especially because Lil Nas X is out. Lil Nas X is out here on a pretty much gay rampage. So why can't DABABY say what he has to say? But then at the same time, there are also a lot of memes with DABABY saying that he's gonna be the next, one to do like a Eminem and Elton John, and ends up having to do a song with Lil Nas X to really show the world that he's not as homophobic as he appears to be. So what are your thoughts on this, Caramel? SO?
I just don't. I'm over it. Can I just say I'm
You
over
say
it?
it, you look over it. You just like.
I'm over it. Okay. Already.
I'm surprised it's still going on. This is like a whole week later. It hasn't died down yet.
I'm like, if he has to eat his words, he has to eat his words. If he meant what he said and he feel like he should stick with it, he needs to stick with it. I just don't see why I'm talking about it. I mean, because yeah, like I talked last week. I like these people a lot of these people are disrespectful throughout what they say about women and everything. I'm like a little annoyed by people could just say whatever they want about women and all this other stuff and disrespectful stuff, and it's not like this big thing. And I know women are also defending him and some of this stuff, but my stance is that's just for him. But my stance is like, when people are disrespectful and they're disrespectful all the way through, at some point the disrespect moves on to whoever. Like that's just what it is. Like no one is if you good with them being disrespectful to one group or some people, don't think that people may not be disrespectful as it goes on. Like it's a disrespectful situation. We surprised that people being disrespectful at concerts. I mean, I'm not. Like things are being said. Like if people wasn't up in arms about stuff saying about women and all that, because I know people talk about women sucking and things on.
Right.
I'm good. Like I don't want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to talk about it. Like let's have the same level of disgust for everybody and everything that's disgusting. You know what I'm saying? Everything that you think that's disgusting or you think that's, biased and disrespectful and, all this stuff. We should be canceling people on culture for a lot of things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be selective about what I'm canceling culture on. Like I said last week, it's disgusting, everything, but it goes on everywhere. So what is the big deal? Why are we still talking about it?
Facts.
Little Bootsy made an interesting comment where he was saying like he thinks in the next 10 years, kind of almost in line with, I don't know if it was exactly with what you were saying, as when it talks about heterosexual male kind of like being under target, but it kind of had that same underlying well, I took it to have that same underlying tone and message where he was like, in the next 10 years, the dynamic, or what's considered a real man, is going to be completely different based on the way that people are attacking heterosexual men for the comments that they're making, regardless if it's about gay men or women. But to me, I found that as a way for Bootsy to kind of still skate around the fact that he says a lot of fuck shit too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's keep in mind that he just admitted that he hired strippers and prostitutes for his kids on their 18th birthday last year. Okay? And was okay with it. So, I don't know. But that's all I got to say about the baby. I'm over him already. I don't even.
Yeah, I mean the baby situation is it's almost like really seeing who's in control, really seeing who's in charge. And as Caramel pointed out, is the disrespect is all over. And the funny thing about it to me is that some of this disrespect don't lead to people losing their lives, but it's possible that all this gun talk and violence and ops and this, that, and the third is possibly a catalyst for thousands of young people dying every single day all over this fucking country. But yet nobody takes a hard stance on that. It's actually ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And it's almost bullying at this point. Like they're gonna beat you into submission in order for you to survive. I mean, because they taking away every possible stream of income that he has. It's not the fans taking it away, it's the access that the fans have to him. So his fans don't even have the ability to say, yo, we still gonna support him, whether it's 100 fans or 50 fans. They taking away his platform to even be seen, to be touched, to be supported. And it just shows you in a genre that was created from the voiceless, the young men and women who had nothing and created something, how it's actually been overtook by people who have the money. The money always buys everything. And go ahead.
I was gonna say, but the thing too is, I think this is just really karma again for the things that he's done prior to this. His prior violent acts. To me, he should have had money pulled when he punched a girl in the face for actually throwing up a light, like he said at the concert. And then he punched her in the face because he said the light was too bright in his face. He hauled off and put her to sleep. All right. Not only
but he didn't get canceled.
Rearranged his jaw, and he did not get canceled at that time, and he should have. He hauled off and beat up hotel staff that was accommodating him in the hotel. He said just because they were following him too close while he had his daughter. He beat the whole snot out of dude in the hotel lobby with other people around. Not to mention he's had other, little bouts of violence or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
And he killed somebody in Walmart?
I don't know about that. Allegedly.
Nothing. He actually says it. He killed somebody. I mean, I think he was found not guilty on some maybe self-defense. I don't know the story, but I do know.
I don't know the story at all. I've never heard anything about it, but I'm
he's saying the song. He said, I'll kill. He's telling his daughter, I'll kill for you, and I'll kill again if something. And I think I read something where there was some incident in a Walmart, and in a self-defense, he killed the dude. I don't know.
All right. Well, I'm gonna just say allegedly again.
Allegedly.
I'm gonna say allegedly again until we can verify that. I don't know anything about that, but I did want to go over. See, it's not until they started dropping his money though that he came back with that real sincere apology. He got dropped.
I already apologized from the beginning though. He said that he didn't mean no harm. He wasn't condemning anybody's sexual preferences.
No, that was not his first apology. His first apology was just in true DABABY style, arrogant, ignorant, and just not professional. And he definitely did not seem sorry or humbled at all. What he said was, come on, y'all. Y'all know that I wasn't talking about my fans. I would never say that my fans have HIV or AIDS. Y'all are too classy for that. I was talking about the other people. What the fuck is that dumb shit? Why would you even say something? And then he doubled down on the water like pussy. The vagina smelling like water, and the other comment. He doubled down on it instead of him apologizing for it. The only thing he said about the LGBTQ thing when he, instead of redacting it completely, was that stupid-ish. And they let that ride for 2 days. That's what even infuriated people more, because it was like, all right, you had a moment on stage. You explained that instead of it being an insult, it was a call to action. Your call to action was you wanted those people to put their lighters up. All right, fine. But at the same time, you still insulted people. And instead of you having a sincere moment on social media and being like, you know what? You gonna come at it when you could tell that you was already hyped up, pilled up, you know what I'm saying? Probably leaned up or whatever else, allegedly, right? But he talks about it in his music. And then you want to say, oh, I didn't mean, it doesn't matter. Your fans were there and they were the ones that were offended. But he came back with the apology because he was dropped from the iHeartRadio Austin City Music Festival. He was also dropped from New York City's Governor Ball after the rant. He also got dropped from the rest of the Lollapalooza festival. He also got dropped from a local radio station that he was supposed to do an interview for at Music Motown. Yep. And he also was dropped from the ACL 2021 lineup. That's like the big sports awards that they have annually. So yeah, he was pretty much dropped from, what was that, like 5 things? Big time money, serious money right there in the pocket. Instead of you just taking that moment, you see what I'm saying? Instead of you.
Oh, but why though? But why does he have to?
I mean, he don't got to.
Because if he's not doing it for, this is the whole point for me.
He ain't got to no more. I mean, he already got the consequence, so he don't really have to.
No, but he can't survive literally without doing something to reverse it. But when you could talk about shooting niggas in the street, and you could talk about disrespecting women in the street, and it's all good. You not only are you going to survive, you're going to thrive. Yeah, you actually going to make money. It's just ridiculous. And you know what? I'm on some caramel shit. I don't even want to talk about it no more. I'm over it.
But it just goes back to, like you said, with R. Kelly. Who supports that ish? It's people in the community. If women stop supporting and getting behind music where men were thrashing and bashing women, because women are the ones that really buy stuff. It ain't the men who really buy stuff. Women are the largest consumers, and then Black women are the largest consumers on top of it. The African American population or minority population are the biggest consumers, yet we make up only 3 to 4% of the population. If people would get more behind movements and make people consciously aware and responsible and accountable for their music, then we would have less of this BS going on.
Let me ask you a question. If this wasn't a story,
that's from rock and roll to everything.
Yeah, but if this wasn't a story, if this was not a story, if this was him saying what he said, would you stop supporting him?
I never supported him to begin with, because
I'm just saying in general, there's many things people say in these songs that may be something you agree with or don't agree with.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Say now,
whether
individual consumers are responsible.
What I'm telling you is no. What I'm trying to tell you is no matter who DABABY is, I would not support him. Because I don't like how he comes across, period. This whole thing on the stage is nothing but like a whole cherry on top of all the other bull crap he has been doing for the past 3 or 4 years and getting away from. And as far as I'm concerned, he should have been had his money pulled. But nobody cared about him punching a Black woman in the face and knocking her the hell out and dislocating her whole jaw. And like 3 people having to pick her up off the floor. And she just went to a concert to support him in a smaller venue. right? Nobody cares about that. I'm right there with you with the LGBTQ. I could care. I'm not saying that I don't care less about their issues. I mean, I care about everybody's issues. We care about everybody's issues on this platform. But their issues are not above any women of color's issues. The same way a black man's issues is not above anybody else's issues. We're all on the same platform. He should have not felt that comfortable to get away with that. So as far as I'm concerned, his money needs to be, I'm glad his money is pulled, but it's not even because he was on the stage doing that fuckery. It was because he punched that lady in the face. It's because he attacked that hotel worker, as well as other people that were working for him. You know what I'm saying? And you're taking out your anger and you acting like a big man on campus with the help. You don't do that with the help. You ain't acting like that with Jay-Z and them. They rock your whole night. All right, I'm really move on. Last topic, Olympics. Who's winning? Who has the most goals? What country do you care about? What country don't you?
Well, for me, I don't care about none of it. I ain't no disrespect. I'm just not into it. I'm not into it this year. I don't know what it is. It's just not the same for me. And I don't know if this is before, I guess, we saw any results, before anything happened. So I'm not saying like, oh, America's not killing it, so I don't care. It's something about it this year that just ain't pulling me in. I don't care about it. And I don't know what's going on. I don't know who got gold, who got silver. I don't know nothing. I didn't know Samaya Biles came back. I didn't have no idea that she came back. So I'm just off it. I'm off it. I don't have nothing to say on it.
I mean, I have the update right now. China is in the lead with 69 medals. They have 32 gold. US is right behind them with 73 medals, but only 24 are gold. Japan is behind with 36 medals, but 19 are gold. Australia has 14 golds. I don't even know what country is ROC, okay? But they have 13 gold. And then Great Britain has 13 gold. Germany has 8, France has 6, the Netherlands has 6, and Korea has 6. Okay. Yeah, they got the updates all live on the TV now. You ain't even got to log on or whatever. But I didn't really care about the Olympics at all. I did not give 2 farts about it because I know that that's just another distraction by the man. You know what I'm saying? To try to get us off of things that are more important, like these laws around vaccination and the eviction mandatorium, which is going to really affect people in public, not, like in New York City housing and things like that. So, this whole distraction for these little couple of weeks with the Olympics, you can miss me with that. But at the same time, I have been paying attention to like track and field, because they have been breaking records as they do in the Olympics. And for the first time, they had some Muslim countries and Muslim women that actually ran for the first time to represent their country. So it was good to see that, because they had on their, hijabs, and they were still out there. And I mean, they still came in like second and third, in the first and second heat. So in that way, it was good to see history be made in that way, women being able to move forward and represent their country, where that was something that never existed before. So yeah, but outside of that, usually the other things that I pay attention to, like swimming, even with gymnastics, I only know about Simone Biles because, that was a hot topic for everybody. I don't really care about. Go Jamaica.
Well, I'll say what I didn't I haven't been watching. I haven't been interested. I was on strike because of my because of the whole what's her name? The thing on
Simone.
No, not Simone Biles or someone.
No, because of Shakara.
Shakara, yeah, I was on strike because of Shakara.
Yeah, they was already doing fuckery.
Yeah, I just felt like, okay, she broke whatever the rules were for the, and got suspended for the time, but she was supposed to be able still to run the relays, and y'all just decided to like oust her out of the team period, like take that extra step. I wasn't really for it. And I was like, that's why Jamaica is going to wax.
And Jamaica completely waxed
and
their whole
Jamaica
ass.
was. And I knew Jamaica was. Represent Jamaica. Boop, boop, boop.
Boop, boop, boop. Booyaka, booyaka.
Jamaica.
And third, baby.
Yep, Jamaica. I knew they was going to do it, And, yeah, that's how I feel about it. I feel like the Tokyo Games should have been canceled. I just think that the way they did the Olympics, like the way that people were not able to have their support systems and people's families weren't able to go, not even like one relative or two relatives. And, some of those, like the places, how the place was where they stayed, like little cots, and it just looked uncomfortable. It looked very, Olympics is usually a time of celebration. These people have been working their whole lives to reach this particular space of time, and then not to have their support systems and people, their
real
families,
concentration camp, like that's what
I just think was, if you can't do that, if we can't have that, in a whole stadium. So I'm not saying you can put 6 feet on people and I just feel like it's just extra, just unnecessarily extra. And I don't want to watch the Olympics with nobody in the stands. And I don't want to watch the Olympics when they go all far with these like things with, with the weed smoking and going the extra mile to punish people. I knew Jamaica was going to sweep anyway. Respect to Jamaica. I already told y'all in the beginning, I'm my Jamaican roots. So I'm good with that, but I'm not watching it. And Simone, I just think maybe if her family was able to be there, maybe it might have been a little different for her. I just think that the Olympics, just like they canceled every other damn thing, they should have canceled the Olympics. Why not?
I agree. That's why I said I think it's some kind of like, mind, distraction that they're trying to do. First of all, what they was doing was some concentration camp type stuff. You know what I'm saying? They should have never trusted it in Tokyo. Tokyo, to me, seems like they're going to try to take those subtle, like hidden mind, they like to play them little mind games. You know what I'm saying? They remember that's the place where corporal punishment was formulated, where they make you kneel on rice and stuff. You got the shit from people in Japan. All right. So, to me, I think them having them sleep on cots and do it. I mean, even before the Olympics, they were telling people you can't protest, you can't play, personal songs or whatever. So it seems like they were already trying to oust people for pretty much being themselves before they even, had the trials and did everything for the Olympics. That's why I think it's full of shit. Now, as far as Simone goes, I know that them girls over there was messing with her. In addition to the judges, they were messing with her big time, because she had moves. Remember, she is the one gymnast that can do moves that no other gymnast in the whole entire world can do. And is that her fault? That she is the baddie like that? No, it's not. And I think that's part of the reason why she sat out, and they, is because they were messing with her. They even when she did do not the floor work, but she had done something on the vault, and they were like, oh, even though they should have gave her a 10, they didn't. They gave her like a medium level, because I think what the judge was saying is the only person that could do that move is you. So the only person we could compare that move to see who did it good was you. So what they were trying to say is, out of the times that she did the move, she didn't do it as well as she has done it in the past. That is some bullshit. Just give the girl the points because she's the only one that could do the move. That's just like when Bolt was running. Could he help that he's the fastest MFer every time? No. But if he ran it, you had to give him his time. So they were messing with her mind. You know what I'm saying? And again, like you said, no support systems. And some people, you were able to have your support system over there, because some athletes, you did see them like have their wife and their mom, but I think it was limited to 2, and they could not be in the stadium where you were. So like they were like in a hotel or in like some other, part of the Olympic arena while you were, watching you from the live screen while you were performing out in the field doing what you were doing. but in most cases, a lot of coaches were not able to come. So people had to like FaceTime with their coach at night, off time. So, I think that all affected the games, but that's what America get. I'm surprised America came in second. I think more people need to beat America in the goals because they tried to play with Shakara. And all I got to say is Michael Phelps, because he was nothing but a smoking ass chimney and he won goals every time. And they was just hating on her. But you know what? That's all right because they're going to turn around and need Shakara when they want her to beat them Jamaicans in 3 years. As if I was her, I might just tell them, kiss my ass and go represent another country. Okay. Because Puerto Rico, she ran. She also came in first for hurdles for the first time. I mean, everybody is just is breaking ground and America is just barely there. Italy, they were hoping that an American can be like, what is it? Carl Thomas? Not Carl Thomas. He's emotional. What is it? Carl, the real fast one.
Carl Lewis.
Carl Lewis, right. They was hoping that this young man named Curly could be the next Carl Lewis. Psych, an Italian came out of nowhere. Fine as hell too, okay? Ooh, Jesus. Fine, all right? Came out of nowhere and booked it on him.
He white?
No, he black. He's a black Italian. Fine. Curly is black, yes. Curly, the athlete as well. He's Fred Curly. That is his name. He came in second. Excellent athlete, but America is sucking right now. But the LGBTQ population, the weightlifters, the women weightlifters, the Catalan throwers, they're winning golds. They representing. And they are also protesting. They go on a stand and they have their hands up like this in an X. Because, the one lady that won gold, she was like, yes, I'm representing. She was like, I'm an X because I'm outside of my community. I represent being the LGBTQ. I'm also African American. I'm also a woman. She was like, so I'm standing here as an X and to represent those that are underrepresented. So that's what like a lot of athletes have been doing. They've also been allowing athletes to express themselves, and some are taking like a knee in silence for Black solidarity. A lot of other countries, like for soccer, a lot of soccer teams have been taking knees in solidarity for police brutality here in America. So it's nice to see that, that's another reason it was good to see that, that now that the world is waking up and they're more woke, at least they're supporting us on certain things. But, Tokyo was still full of shit. I feel bad for Simone, but she was supposed to compete earlier today. Don't know how she did. Hopefully she did well, but we'll see. And then track and field commences tonight, where Jamaica will continue to whip America's ass. But that's all I got, people. Shout out to Shakara. They trying to hate on your time, girl, but it's coming.
Non-shout out for her.
And don't let them keep you down for some weed. All I got to say is Michael Phelps. Somebody needs to look into that because remember he got caught smoking and he had it in his system and then nobody stopped him from running. Then nobody stopped him from swimming. They pulled some of his advertisement, but they just gave it right back to him. But that complexion for the protection. All right, Brooklynites, it's been real. We'll catch you on the flip. Have a great night. Hey, yo. What up, Brooklynites? It's awesome. Don't forget to watch us every Thursday where we have new episodes that drop. And please don't forget to like and subscribe and share our channel. Peace.